The U.S. Food and Drug Administration has not approved the marijuana plant as medicine. However, scientific study of the chemicals in the plant, called cannabinoids, has led to 2 FDA-approved medications. So far, there haven't been enough large-scale clinical studies that would show that the benefits of the marijuana plant outweigh its risks in people. Drug abuse. This plant can also alter sense of time and cause changes in mood, impaired body movement, breathing problems, and increased heart rate. If you start using marijuana as a teenager, the drug reduces thinking and problem-solving memory and learning functions. In September 2016, the report on the impact of marijuana legalization in Colorado was published. It was prepared by Investigative Support Center and Strategic Intelligence Unit. I only looked through the sections 2 and 3, the impact of youth adult marijuana use. Here are some numbers from the report. The latest 2013-2014 results show Colorado youth ranked number 1 in the nation for past month's marijuana use, up from number 4 in 2011-12 school year. It's an increase of 20%. College-age adults ranked number 1 in the nation for past marijuana use, up from number 3 in 2011-12. It's an increase 17%. Colorado adults ranked number 1 in the nation in 2013-14, up from number 7 in 2011-12. It's an increase of 63%. Legal cannabis sales in the United States jumped 17% to $5.4 billion in 2015, according to ArcView Market Research, and are projected to grow to $21.8 billion by 2020.
I wish that Massachusetts would reconsider the recreational use of marijuana. I know it's not going to happen, but I do want folks to understand that we had an opportunity to meet with Jason Lewis, the senator from Winchester, Massachusetts, and what he said was the benefits of recreational marijuana are going to be slim as compared to the costs that can be associated with police activity and with public health issues that can come from the recreational use of marijuana. So a recent article from the Lowell Sun talked a lot about this particular topic, and I'm not sure if folks realize that by 2030, this will be a $1.7 billion industry within Massachusetts, larger than both cigarettes and alcohol. And many of the people in the community know that I've been a strong opponent to legalization of marijuana, and that I've taken a very strong stance against marijuana on school property over the years. I think it's provided students an understanding that we have expectations here at the high school, and that we want to make sure that we keep drugs, alcohol, and those kinds of products out of our school community to make it a safe learning environment.
In June 2016, 103 school resource officers from Colorado schools participated in a survey concerning marijuana in schools since its legalization. The data is taken from the same report. 82% reported increase in marijuana-related incidents. The marijuana violations by students on campus happened 45% when students were under the influence in school hours, and 43% when students possessed the marijuana. The officers reported that students get marijuana in 45% from friends who obtain it legally, 24% from black market, and 22% from parents. Here is a couple of officers' comments. In February 2016, a juvenile male brought edibles into the school. The male gave it out to several students and consumed himself. The paramedics were called and the male was transported to emergency room. The juvenile's parent was a user and the source of the edibles.
I really want folks to consider what goes into these products. The HGH level today is so much higher than it's ever been, and you will see that information, and Dr. Schuster shared that a year ago when we presented to the school committee about that. It's a different product today, and what it does to the brain, I firmly believe, and again, my opinion, and I hope that the study supports that, indicates that it does have long-lasting effects on the brain.
In the early 90s, the average THC content in confiscated marijuana samples was roughly 3.7%. In 2014, it was 6.1%, according to National Institute on Drug Abuse. The consequences of marijuana use could be worse than in the past. One more comment from the school officer. I noticed that kids are more vocal in defending benefits of marijuana. I asked a 5th grade boy what he thought he would be doing when he was 25 years old. He replied, work in a weed store. I asked why he chose that for a job, and he said, because that's what my dad wants me to do. Here is a couple of school counselors' reports who also participated in a survey. A male 13-year-old student fell asleep in several classes. After interviewing, he admitted that he uses marijuana often before school. At our elementary school, we have noticed an increased number of parents showing up to school high. According to American College of Pediatricians, approximately 9% of users overall become addicted to marijuana. About 17% of those who start during adolescence become addicted.
I personally think that, and this is my opinion, is that marijuana is the lead-in or the opportunity for students to go on to the next level of narcotics or drugs. And some folks disagree with me tremendously, but I had an opportunity to sit down with Chris Herron. Chris Herron is a former Boston Celtic basketball player, very, very popular Massachusetts athlete, tremendous athlete from the New Bedford area. And when I asked Chris about how he got involved and why he ended up where he was, and this was 2 years ago, he said to me, Jim, I didn't begin by, going to hard narcotics and so forth, and heroin or cocaine. It started with a Solo cup, a red Solo cup, and a blunt, a cigar filled with marijuana. And when that didn't take care of me, it went on to the next level and the next level, prescription drugs, to finally, one of his closest friends sharing a needle with him, which ultimately was to his demise. And Chris actually informed me that during one of his warm-ups at the Boston Garden, he left in full uniform to go out into the street to see his dealer to pick up the narcotic that he needed, which to me was a story that just floored me. Hear his message. He is a tremendous speaker, but more than that, it's his message. Here was a star athlete, a tremendous athlete that had the world in the palm of his hands. And if he could say anything to students, he'd say, make good decisions, that this can impact the rest of your life.